We're live?
We're live?
Right, we're live, Dee.
Again?
Still?
Let me finish the dishwasher.
No rest in the dish pit.
It's been, I'm exhausted actually. I'm really, I don't, let's just chill this weekend, the evening. Just
Have a glass of wine.
more relaxed Dennis.
Maybe that'll help. How is everybody tonight? Welcome to Well Seasoned. It's Thursday night, 5:30, Facebook Live. We're ready for another amazing episode.
Yeah, it is springtime. The weather is hot, a bit too hot for my taste. So I can't eat all those hearty meals anymore.
You're gonna have to cut back on your pasta consumption.
I feel great on wheat though. Like wheat makes me really feel good. The second day I feel great, unless I eat like excess amount of it. But
Like last weekend.
I was really comfortable the next day.
We ate so much pasta on Saturday.
Yeah, we knocked out like what, a bottle of wine per. Came home and I drank 2 more bottles. I was feeling that ecstatic and great. I love his pasta though. His pasta always makes me exceptional. But yeah, it's springtime. Yesterday I went into my farmer. I mean, it's spring. It's almost the end of the spring, but until June 21st. I went to my farmer and I just grabbed some beautiful English peas. They're supposedly very sweet too.
They are sweet.
The ones I tasted today was excellent. So we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna show you some real salad greens and how to really dress a salad properly. And garlic scapes are in season. Angie got these from somewhere which I can't recall right now. I can't for the yeah. But anyway, we're just gonna make a little pesto. It's gonna be a little garlicky, but we're just going to thin it out. I'll show you how to. You're gonna keep the pesto part for your, grilled steaks and this and that, and then we're gonna take the pesto, turn it into dressing. We have some Marcona almonds, kind of like a traditional pesto, but garlic scapes instead of basil.
The most expensive almonds in the world.
Yeah, so what do we care, right? And then I'm going to show you a way of eating peas that I truly do enjoy. When the whole city or BC went sideways, then remember edamame? Mm-hmm. People just lost their marbles over it.
They still do.
Do they?
Yeah, they still. Every restaurant in town still sells edamame as an appetizer.
Not in Vancouver anymore. Vancouver just is over it now. But I'm like, everybody's sucking on soybeans, and they're like, this is the greatest beer snack. I'm like, have you ever tried beef jerky or a potato chip? It never made sense to me. I ordered it because of the partner that I had back in time was in love with it also. I just ate it a few times. I'm like, this is not for me.
You don't like them at all?
I don't care for them.
Edamame in any form?
It's like I don't get excited about them.
Okay.
It eats well, but that gave me the notion of grilled peas. Now I'm not very adventurous in cooking and cuisine. I did all that in the earlier part of my career. Right now it's more like you just go out, see whatever is available, and there is a cooking method that I've learned over the 15 years. Whatever is solid for them, I just apply that method. But I changed it for this because man, I have a long story about this. I can go for the next 20 minutes.
Maybe you can just give us the Reader's Digest version.
Reader's Digest is, I was always allergic to blanching greens. I thought it would just diluted the flavor. It didn't do any good. And all those French bean blanchers, after service, went into the Chinese joints to have stir-fried beans and couldn't stop talking about them. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't. So long story short, normally in fine dining, you will take this pea and you would blanch it until it's cooked and it's shelled or not shelled. And then you just keep the perfect green color and never taste the actual pea flavor. The actual pea flavor, but the only sweetness of it because it is in its very tender and young form. So I am going to show you a method that we use in Turkey is actually quite good. Because we buy fibrous, in Turkey nobody sells you baby greens because they can't make money out of it like that. So we have to cook them for hours. And this dish, the second dish, is mushy peas with sausage, which my dear mom used to cook me a lot. And I'm not lying, like seriously. I grew up on this, but I've never cooked it in Canada. I don't remember cooking it. I did a couple of times. Whew, that was a lungful. So that's the Reader's Digest.
That was a lot.
Yeah. You talk some.
Now I have the giggles. There's a meme that's all over the internet. That's it's Baby Yoda, and he's holding up the peas, and he's like, "Taste the penis." I laugh myself sick every single time.
I love
it's so
memes.
ridiculous.
Memes are funny.
Baby Yoda, taste the penis. And I'm like, what? Anyhow.
We're that tired. We've never done X-rated stuff.
We are tired. We've both had a really long week this week.
Yeah.
It's really crazy around here right now.
It is fun though. It is the picnic started. Picnic packs are started, and people are just slowly easing into them.
Picnic Palooza.
Yeah, meal kits have been fired, and so now you can just go online and order yourself a picnic packet. Honestly, for that price, it's a great deal. Let me tell you. So sorry, not meal kit. So you don't have to worry about cooking. It's hot. You don't have to turn the oven on.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just outside. Most of those dishes are designed for your barbecue. Works in your oven and in a hot grill or a grill grate, what I'm going to use tonight. But it's designed for a light, nice eating, so you can feel $1,000,000. You can have some wine with it, and you're not like really bloated or anything after eating it.
And it's easy to take with you if you're going camping or something. So those are all listed on our website.
Yeah.
But tonight we're cooking with fresh local veg, and I think a lot of people are excited. At least all my friends on Facebook are super excited how far ahead their garden is already this year. Because
everybody's a gardener now. Nobody used to do it.
Because of COVID, everybody's got all this time on their hands, right?
People, you should walk in East Van. East Van is just like, if they don't have a garden, they take over the sidewalks with those 2x4s, and
yeah, it's awesome.
Like you can completely go grocery shopping on them, too. It's stealing, I know, but I mean, there's a big bush over rosemary. How much rosemary are you going to eat? So I just,
you walk around town with your scissors in your pocket, just in case.
But I take only what I need. I don't take it from person. I'm not going to get into your property and take your rosemary. But if I'm going to roast potatoes, if I need a sprig, you just take Google Maps app. You just pin drop. There's the bay leaf tree. There's the fennel front. There's the rosemary.
Gosh. Yeah. I do carry scissors in my car because, it's lilac season, and I do come across the occasional lilac bush that it doesn't have a home. It's just in the middle of nowhere. So I will pull over and cut myself some lilacs because I don't have a lilac bush at my house. So
I use a knife. I always carry a pocket knife.
I do keep scissors in my car for that purpose. But everybody's gardening, and so everybody's excited how far ahead their gardens are. I know my hanging basket, I already have harvested strawberries. My tomatoes are ripening on my hanging baskets. It's crazy how far ahead it is for the first week of June. So all of these veg are going to start to show up in your local markets and at the farmers markets, and maybe even in your own backyard. So the garlic scapes came from Renee, who works here. Renee Blackstone, she's one of our kitchen assistants, and they are from her garden. She grows tons of really delicious organic garlic at her little hobby farm here in Langley. So her husband dropped these scapes off for us the other day. And the peas are local. I see Dennis even has some fun garnish here, but there's tons of stuff that's just starting to become available right now. So,
and it's a little bit more expensive, and I get it. But you know what? It makes all the difference. And I'm going to show you some salad greens. It's Hannah Brook Farms Paul's salad greens. They are the top of the line stuff. Every single leaf. It's got more than 20 variety in there. Fava tips, pea tendrils, radish tops, whatever it is. It makes all the difference. You bite into it, because when you eat mesclun grains, there's no flavor to them for sure.
Yeah, and now's a good time to sort of over-harvest stuff and put it away for the fall and winter. So the dish Dennis is going to show you with the garlic scapes, you can make that now and freeze it so you can pull it out in small containers throughout the fall and winter, and your future self will definitely thank you.
Preserving, it's on its way. It's not common in North America yet. But preserving, natural preserving, not canning, but fermentation, more lacto fermentation and all that part is coming. In 10 years, you'll be accustomed to it. We're just ahead of our time.
It's growing for sure. You see more of it.
Yeah, and then if you just show some interest, eventually you'll get captivated by it. You can preserve all this via fermentation, turn them into vinegars. It's quite fascinating, actually. It is a big subject. But once you started to get into it, just like baking, it is very satisfying. Nothing ever goes to waste. There's a trick that I do with the spongy vegetables in my fridge. I would just grab them add the weight of 2% salt and press them in a jar, you got yourself pickles in about a few weeks. You just got to know what the hell you're doing, though.
Yeah.
That's important. Otherwise, botulism can...
Yeah, botulism's not so fun.
No.
So when the cooking classes resume at some point, maybe we can do some sort of like a workshop on pickling or something like that. Would be kind of fun to do.
I don't teach pickling, though. I'm sorry.
We have other chefs that have taught pickling classes, and they're lots of fun. You can do all kinds of things like canning classes.
I'd rather sell you a pickle than teach you how to pickle.
Teach a man to pickle.
It is one of those. It is so simple, but if you don't do it right, it just doesn't turn out. And,
right.
It's just like bread making. It's just like pasta making. But yeah, maybe.
So yesterday, Dennis and I had the opportunity to participate in a trade wine tasting, a virtual wine tasting. So this winery, it's called Nostalgia. They're in, why am I completely lost? They're in Oliver, in South Okanagan. And it used to be called something else, Oliver Twist. It used to be called Oliver Twist. So there's a new owner, a new everything. They've rebranded the wine. It's called Nostalgia. This is all their wine. It's no longer the same Oliver Twist stuff. And holy cow, I was really impressed yesterday how delicious the wines are.
I had 6 glasses in the middle of the day, and it was I was toast stuffed. I checked out at I'm like.
They weren't 6 full glasses. We were doing a tasting, so there was like 2 ounces in each glass.
Yeah, they're all excellent wines, and what I love also is the price point, that they're highly affordable.
Yeah.
Because the local stuff, by the time it gets to your local store, it gets kind of 25 plus. But these you can get them slightly lower.
Yeah, at the winery they were starting, I think, at $19 and going up from there. But yeah, really delicious BC wine.
There's so much delicious BC wine that I actually stopped drinking foreign wine until I get a really good feel for it, other than the restaurants.
But if you're out at the liquor store and you come across one of the Nostalgia wines, it's totally worth giving it a try. I'm drinking the 2018 Merlot. Dennis is drinking the 2018 Meritage. We both love their Kerner.
It smells of green apples and
like
green
lychee
apples.
kind of. It's really delicious.
It is very sweet. It's got the acidity. It's got that nose of apple tone, which I was instantly hooked on it. And the bubbly is the same variety, right?
Yeah, the bubbly, we drank it all. It's all gone. Big surprise. But it was the Kerner bubbly. It's called Chantilly Lace, and it was really excellent sort of patio wine. The rosé was also quite delicious. It had lots of berry on the finish. Anyhow, if you see this out and about, it's definitely worth picking up. So yeah, we really enjoyed it. So we're going to, this is leftover from our tasting yesterday. So you can see we didn't really drink a whole lot. He drank the bulk of it yesterday. We did finish the bubbly though. So anyhow, I believe Jenna has posted the recipes for tonight in the comment section. So as usual, if you have questions while we're cooking, feel free just to type them into the comment bar and we will answer them from there. And Jenna can post a link to the Nostalgia Winery, and you guys can check out their Facebook and their website because it really is worth looking into. So anyhow, let's get started. Do you want to splash more, or are you
I'll
good?
put my glass there. If eventually you can get to it.
Oh, I'll refill it. Don't you worry.
One more sip of Merlot. Hi, I'm very excited for this episode. I haven't had my mother's peas in a while. So we're just going to start with the peas too, because everything is raw. As you can see, they're going to cook. And I am going to start with little, now you can crumble your sausage and it's totally fine. However, you have to have a go at it, maybe like a little potato masher or back of a spoon. I just don't want to do it in front of the camera. I kept them in ball forms. These are like an ounce sausage meatballs. And I made the sausage mix. We make our sausage rolls. I'm using the same mix. And we we make our sausage mix in the house. But you're more than welcome to use your favorite raw sausage, or cooked smoked sausage actually works really, really fine too. But I like a spicy Italian, those fennel notes. I use a little bit of smoked paprika in ours. and garlic. It's very basic, simple recipe, but a well-made product. Now, my pan is hot. I'm just going to add a little layer of olive oil. And I'm going to drop my little sausage balls in here. They are slightly starting to crackle. Now that's my first. Let's rinse our hand. Okay, so I'm just going to not touch this for a minute so it can just start to take a little bit of color. After this, I am going to add my onions and garlic and a pinch of salt right on top of it. So that's my second move. Now you're going to hear my pan is going to instantly start picking up rhythm, which is very important in cooking. At this point, I have a little bit of color, and I'm going to start shaking my pan around until all my sausage balls are loose and flip sides, so they're giving color on the other side. Now, to this, I have 100 mils of white wine right here. I have chicken stock, and I have my fresh shark peas. If you're just cooking for a large variety to get everybody in the house, this used to be one of the chores in my household right after breakfast during summertime, that all of our families sit around. We crank the beer open right around 11 a.m. and then start shucking Romano beans. Green beans, we're cleaning them, trimming them. So it was a family activity, which is a great family activity. Why you laugh?
I don't know. I can just picture your family sitting around doing it.
Yeah, they're all loud, big. They love drinking. And yeah, we just actually, you know what we did was we decided what we're gonna, like the topic at the table was just what are we gonna eat for lunch? And as soon as the lunch was done, what are we eating for dinner? We didn't talk too much other than that. Or go to the beach or anything. We just thought, what are we doing next? All the peas are going in. And I'm going to cover these peas with a little bit of sausage fat. Okay, let's grab this.
Did you have a garden in Turkey, Dee?
Not in Istanbul. Istanbul is all high rises, and we don't garden a lot. It is a big city, but it's very crowded and condensed. So I grew up in apartments. But in our summer houses, a few of them, one of them we had somewhat of a garden. We didn't attempt it too much, but arugula would grow like wild. It was just like, just a weed to us. But yeah, I didn't do too much gardening. To this, I'm going to add 100 mils of white wine. See how easy cooking is, right? And my pan is so hot that my white wine is almost always, no, not almost always, sorry, almost evaporated. You just want to cook the alcohol off. Now, my mother didn't use white wine nor stock. My mom used just water. It keeps the lightness. And you know what? If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you can completely skip the sausage. They're equally delicious. I'm going to serve it with yogurt tonight. And for that part, so that my yogurt can get a little bit of marination going, I'm going to take my thinly sliced garlic scapes. Normally we would eat this with garlic yogurt. Well, today we're eating it with garlic scape yogurt. That's, and to this yogurt, I'm going to add my citrus zest. Zest comes free with your citrus, so I wouldn't waste it. And I'm going to grab my lemon, cut it in half. Grab my little elbow here. And to my pot, I'm adding my chicken stock. Bring that up to a boil. This is the yogurt I'm using as a base for my sausage stew in the second course, just so we're all on the same page.
So if you were using like a veggie stock or something to make this vegan, would you add maybe a bit of like smoked paprika or anything else in there to add?
Absolutely. I don't make vegetable stock personally.
But if you were making a
But
vegetarian...
if you're making a vegetarian version, if you want a little bit richness, I would either add a little smoked paprika, or if you want to thicken the sauce a little bit, a spoon of tomato paste is actually quite good in that application. I'm going to put a nice pinch of salt to this. As you can see, my pot is boiling. Now I'm going to cover it to cook for about, I would say in the next half hour. Normally I would cook this about an hour on low heat, so it is like really discolored and mushy, but today I'm going to put this to the side. Make sure that it's boiling. Let's catch up. And also taste the juice. Just see where your salty levels are. If you're using a store-bought chicken stock, they might be salty. This has got good seasoning in it. And I'm going to boost this up. Get rid of the soiled spoon. Also taste your yogurt. Right? If we're doing this task, make sure you finish your task before moving on to the next one, so that I'm not coming back and seasoning my yogurt and repeating myself. Whatever you start, finish before you move to the next one. That is quite good. Okay. So, next course. Let's get rid of this, let's get rid of this. We don't need these. Whatever also you don't need, please get rid of on your station so it doesn't crowd. Now this is boiling quite aggressively. I'm going to turn this to medium high. I still want to go and evaporate that stock in there, so I'm not going too slow.
So Chef, if you didn't have access to fresh peas, like if you wanted to make this dish in the winter, could you use regular like frozen peas, sweet peas, or?
Absolutely. Right, absolutely. Go ahead and do it. It is, frozen peas are one of the greatest conveniences in every culture due to a reason. It makes you feel like you're eating a fresh vegetable.
Why? Because they're green?
They're green?
Because they're green? Is that why?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
give peas a chance. You're welcome.
I'm going to go have a drink now. My therapist says that I should... that
you should what? Give peas a chance?
Give peas a chance. I should have more puns in my life. Whatever that means. Garlic scapes, 3 cloves of roasted garlic. You have the proportions. Goes into a food processor. Now, this depends on the size of your garlic scape, so we're just going to adjust, obviously. And then, first things first, let's blitz these garlic scapes so that you break the structure down. Now, whenever you're breaking something down, if you have different textures, if you're using different textures, I will just blitz them down separately because everything has a different breaking down time. All right, this is like a little party in here. To this, I'm going to add a little bit of my olive oil and lemon juice just to create some continuity so the machine stops throwing them around. Also, whenever you're making a pesto puree or anything, the size of your, if you're using a kitchen processor, the size of your bowl is very, very important so that, you're not putting a tablespoon of garlic scapes and then trying to break them down. Okay, this looks good. It smells even better. This is going really, really nice.
I think so many people want to buy garlic scapes, but they really don't know what to do with them. I mean, I don't know if they're as prolific in Vancouver as they are here in the valley because there's so many garlic farmers out here.
I don't think it is that much sought after. I mean, like the asparagus is, the peas are, the Swiss chard and the cauliflower and the spinach right now, the arugula, they're all are the first ones to just go, are the first ones to be bought in the farmer's market. Garlic scapes are still not there, but you're right, people just don't know what to do with them. Garlic scapes also makes great stir fry if you would like to stir fry anything.
Yeah.
Instead of like beef and green onion, try garlic scapes and beef. It'll be a game changer if you can do the things right. I will put my almonds, my Parmesan. Again, Parmesan is optional if you want to keep it dairy-free. And I get it. My lemon and olive oil, that's in the recipe with those proportions, 1:1, goes in. Now to this, I have some of my glasses. Give me a sec. Now they are coming to this lovely, lovely consistency, and I'll show you this.
Sorry, and those scapes went in raw, right? You didn't blanch them, right?
Yeah. If you can't handle raw garlic, which I understand, some of us are not built for it. Please just cook them slightly. Cooking them softens them, makes them sweeter, and it'll be milder in taste. Now let's check out the consistency. Again, this is a nice pesto consistency. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Now you got to learn how to do these adjustments, but trial and error is the only way to do this. Olive oil is going to give body to the pesto. As well as it's going to loosen up slightly. Okay, in the meantime, my peas in a pot, absolutely no seasoning, no oil. You can do this on your grill, you can do this on a very, very hot, dry pan, or you can do this on a grill grate, just like I have one here. Now put this in, make sure your heat is high. Okay. Also, this is looking very good. And do not touch them. We want them to be charred on one side, and as they char, just because in its natural own protected capsule, what is going to happen is they're going to be started to smoke from outside, just like this, as you can see, but as well as started to steam from inside. So you will have the smoky, steamy flavor without diluting your peas.
So did you string those peas?
No, we're not going to eat the shell.
Okay.
We're not going to bite into it. We're just
Okay.
going to, just like you eating edamame, except this is not a hairy version. You're just going to grab it and pull it off your teeth, and it'll be delicious. I'm hoping it will. Now let's give a taste to this puree. It's quite delicious. It needs a pinch of salt. Okay. Needs a pinch of salt and a little bit of more blitzing. Jenna, could you do me a little favor? Could you just grab me a lemon from the back fridge, please? Apologies for that, but there should be a bag. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. As you can see, my peas are charring. Merci, merci. And my garlic scape cream or pesto or whatever you would like to call it. I'm just going to put this to be frozen for later, and I'm just going to have almost like a 2-portion worth of it. This goes back in the fridge, which I will do later. And then from this portion, make sure you get the ones on the blade. Okay.
So it's going to be a little bit stringy, the texture of that, because the scape itself is, it's got a little bit of...
It is an edible string, though. It's not like a bean string.
But
so,
it won't break down completely smooth like a basil pesto would.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's not, what do you say? It's not a disturbing texture. It's going to grind between your teeth, or it's just going to, just annoy you. But it is a fibrous thing. That's why we slice it super thin. and whatnot. Now to this, I'm just going to take my, obviously that doesn't want to, oh man, okay. Good morning. I'm going to take my lemon zest. Actually, while we're doing this, let's see our, yeah, they are slightly charred on one side, and as the air pockets in there expand, it's going to start to look like this, like expanded and swollen, which is what we want. Now to my pesto, I'm just going to add again my lemon zest. This is to ease it up and turn it into a dressing. Okay. Cut it open. I put the Mexican elbow out. I'm going to use a spoon. Stab it with a spoon. Squeeze out. From top to bottom, I love the pulp. I think pulp is a very, very tasty part of a lemon. Again, and if you have a couple of seeds in there, don't worry about it too much. Any questions, Angie?
Not yet. Mostly just a couple of questions about how to find garlic scapes. Gladys is joining us tonight. She lives in New Mexico, and there's not farms in her area, but she does say that her husband grows some garlic. So I think, Gladys, the scape is at the beginning of the garlic process. So I think if you asked him, your garlic would produce scapes for sure at the very beginning.
Yeah.
They cut them off before the bulb is fully formed. So he's probably just trimming them and not really maybe even thinking about what it is. But here, because there's so much of it, people eat it. So
yeah, when you grow it, you eat every single aspect of it. I mean, it's not, you see, as one of my pet peeves, cooks working with puff pastries, that they would just like to punch it around and the rest.
In the garbage?
You get the same cook to make that puff pastry, their behavior changes completely. Now, as you can see, I put a pinch of water as well. It's a nice little lumpy, creamy vinaigrette without the butterfat. Now, let's taste this thing.
What did you say? A lumpy, creamy vinaigrette?
Yeah.
You can't be lumpy and creamy at the same time.
Creamy not necessarily refers to the smoothness in this sentence. Actually, it is. I don't know. Okay, how about a lumpy yet continuous? Okay, not getting the form of snotty. How about that?
Oh, God.
It is delicious, though. I totally have a potato chip dipped into this, and I'll be a happy guy. Now, if you want to get messy, my pea pods are nicely charred, and they're still charring. Their puffity is up there. The outside skin is being slightly wrinkled, and I'm going to keep it there. And just another 30 seconds, I would say. So, with our greens, these are Farmer Paul's greens. They're actually quite famous over there on that side of the bridge. Now, when you have greens like that, honestly, I didn't grow up on salad dressings. I usually had, there are two main streams in Turkey, vinegar people and the lemon juice people. So either you do your dressings with lemon and olive oil or vinegar and olive oil. And they both are acceptable, and they both are different schools.
So any other time of year, when I see a bowl of salad greens, I start twitching because I automatically assume they're those disgusting greens that you buy in the bin that everybody in every restaurant since 1984 has been serving. And if I never eat another one of those buckets of greens, I would be very happy. But in the summertime, I don't buy them either. But in the summertime, I'm so happy to see these greens at the farmers markets and the local market.
They're expensive.
Yeah,
but
they are.
Mind you that you can have this as a main course. I mean, when you look at it, that's wild watercress. That's baby purple kale. That's these are pea tips, fava tips, the purslane. Everything is here, and they pack a lot of flavor.
Yeah, they actually taste good. Like the Costco bucket of
tarragon, like
baby
a whole hunk of
greens,
tarragon.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
shoot me.
I actually used to work with a guy that worked in a factory that cleaned those greens. He said it was the most mental job that he's ever had.
Oh, I can't eat them. They're just, to me, they're just slimy and have no
Yeah.
flavor. I'd rather have iceberg lettuce. At least that's
I like
got
iceberg
some,
lettuce.
yeah.
Iceberg lettuce has a lot of texture. And texture is more important. No, it's not more important, but it is as important as in a salad as the taste of a green. If you're going wintertime, my personal suggestion, and if you're still going for a salad, buy them whole heads like radicchio or Belgian and like white endive. They're still local products that's been grown in hot houses. And they still have a lot of flavor because they haven't broken down, washed, and stored in somewheres. And I have no idea how they import greens from California. How do they do the timing?
Well, they just send them in a refrigerated truck, and within 2 days they're here on the shelf. So,
Okay.
yeah, it goes fast.
Turn that off. Make sure. Now I am going to uncover my peas so that the broth can start to reduce. To this, now depends on how messy you want to get. If you really want a messy experience, take a little garlic scape pesto or vinaigrette at this point and toss them in with a pinch of salt. But at this point, let's get their fingers greasy. Just the tiniest amount of olive oil because it came out of a hot surface. Outside, even if it's a fresh vegetable, has a lot of dehydration on it. So it's dying to be hydrated with something. If you put any acid on here, they will go gray, just so you know, which is not a bad thing because we're about to eat the gray peas in a minute. I'm going to put a little pinch of salt to this, not too much. I don't want to hurt the sweetness of the peas, but first, when you first put something in your mouth, the first impression usually dictates how it's going to go. And a little bit of salt bite is never, ever, ever, ever a bad thing. With this, I'm going to put it to the side so that Angie or Jenna doesn't get scorched. It's hot, temperature hot. My beautiful greens are here. Now, when I dress greens, I've been trained by Louise Pickles. She was really hard on me. Here is the thing about dressing a salad. First, you have to have tip-top greens. They have to be refrigerated until the last second. They have to be of good quality and good date. Your dressing. Now, whenever you work in a large volume establishments and large amounts of vinaigrette, as they would sit in the fridge, they will become more complex, just like any other flavor would, but they will start to lose their freshness. Now, in a beef stew, complexity is very, very important. But in a salad, the driving note is the freshness and acidity. And because that's what you're doing. You're just cleaning your palate with just a bunch of nice little greens. So this dressing, we've just made it now, so it doesn't need it. But if you're using homemade dressings or even store-bought dressings, please put a tiny pinch of salt and a little squeeze of lemon juice or a shot of vinegar just before you serve and toss your salad in. And use that. So I'm just going to put 1 and 2. And let's start tossing it around. The amount of dressing completely depends on the type of lettuce you're using. If you're using really light lettuce or like really leafy lettuce like Lola Rosa or butter lettuce and this and that, you don't want too much dressing because your salad green won't be able to handle it and it will collapse. But if you're using hardy lettuces, just like iceberg and romaine, then you can go and dress it a little bit more aggressively. But do it in increments. You're looking at a nicely coated green without being collapsed. Actually, the best way of doing this is by hand, just so you know. But it is still very nice and light and fluffy. Let's. Oh my God! I love making salads.
Nina says that she has some garlic scape salt. You could make your own garlic scape salt for sure.
Absolutely, and you should. So, again, I'm not going to put this in a ring or anything or manipulate it too much. Again, this is a garlic scape dressing. So if you're on a date, and if your date doesn't like garlic, just get rid of them and get a new date. Because I ain't quitting garlic anytime soon. And keep it nice and fluffy. No packing, no compacting. Just nice and light. As you can see, that's the last leaf. And when you look at the composition, it's not collapsed, it's nice, light, it's composed, it's tight. And it is flavorsome. To this, I have a little bit of edible flowers that Paul gave me. This is mostly kale flowers, but you can use really anything. You don't have to. But when you're making a salad like this with this kind of simplicity, you just want to make it a little bit more exciting. Not that it needs it, by no means. And to this, let's make sure that we're not over reduced. To this, I'm going to grab a handful per person. I mean, this is a spring plate as good as it gets. All right, Angie, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right. Jenna, this is yours. I will get you a fork.
I'm excited for the peas. My mom would love this. Peas were her favorite spring vegetable.
It is a great thing to eat. So
you eat these just like you would edamame, right?
just grab from one end.
Squish the peas out.
Use your teeth and squish the peas out. How good it is.
Taste the penis. Yeah, they're really
I don't
delicious.
think I'm down for it, but
They're really delicious.
you never know.
And there's no dressing on the peas.
Just a pinch
the
of salt and
and
the
oil.
tiniest of the olive oil.
And I thought I saw frise. Marla asked about frise in the screen in the mix. but
No, I don't think there is.
No,
There,
I don't-
no, there's
I don't
no
see any
freezer.
now. No.
There is about 30 different things that he uses, but it all changes depending on the time of the year and depending on the.
Well, there will be no vampires at my house tonight, but that is delicious.
Isn't it? It's light. It's garlicky, but it's not like. It's like a green garlicky. It's not like a clove garlicky.
Right. It's cheesy too. It's almost a bit Caesar-y, like a bit Caesar salad-y.
Yeah, we all go for that. We all go for that. Just a little bit of olive oil, just to give that lumpy creaminess and continuity, and the Parmesan gives you that, just like a really condensed milk, not milk, but cheese flavor. If you don't have access to Parmesan, really good quality cheddar, not the Costco stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but
The aged cheddar or the Irish cheddar from Costco.
Irish, it could be English. Actually, my favorite brand is Coastal. It is, or Collier. It's Coastal. It comes in a blue packaging. It's very cheap, but when you eat it, that's one of my late night treats for myself. It almost is as well as Parmesan. It's got that dehydrated, umami, cheesy, just like a really good. Cheddar is an incredible cheese if you eat the right variety and if you can find it.
This is really good. I didn't have lunch today, so this is really I was really hungry. But this salad, if you had a nice piece of fish, this is all you need for dinner.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, you could eat just the salad. Obviously, you don't need the meat or the protein with it. But yeah, this salad with a pizza would be so good on the side of a pizza. Anyhow, this dressing, totally make it. Find some garlic scapes and make this Scape pesto. Gladys, I always have Scape pesto in my freezer at home. So when you come to Canada to visit us, remind me and I'll give you some Scape pesto to take back with you.
I always have the Kirkland pesto. I'm kidding. I don't pesto too much. All right. So that was a delight. Now, for this, I actually have a little surprise party here. I was going to warm up some bread, but I made some pita chips today, which is dear to my heart. And I'll be back in the screen for a second.
Oh, when I saw that, I thought those were wontons or tortilla chips for a second. I didn't know what was going on over there.
Well, world, we got you back in 2009 with these. It's back in 2021. This is the recipe that I used to cook at a cafe that I used to work. So you take a pita bread, which is puffy one, not the puffy one, but how do you say that?
It's-
puffy but collapsed.
Yeah, it's the pocket, the pita
It's the
pocket.
pita pocket one, and you just go through the edges with the lightest of the hands, and you just split it into two.
Separate the pocket.
Separate the pocket. You just put them on top of each other, and you just cut the whole thing in half, and each half in 4s or 3s. Then you heat up some vegetable oil to 250 Fahrenheit, and then you fry it until bubbling stops. Don't overdo it, it can go quite dark, but in the end you'll end up with something like this. Sorry, crispy. It's excellent. It is, hands down, it was one of my favorite afternoon snacks when I worked at the cafe. To have it with hummus or chickpea tagine with merguez sausage. But it is a great way of preserving your pita bread. Fry it until it's crispy, put them on paper towels, season them with salt, and then put them in airtight containers. And then it will keep for the next 4 weeks in there without getting stale. Unless you have too much humidity in the air, then they might go limp. But that's later. Are you excited about this mushy peas one?
You know, I'm actually pretty excited about these grilled peas. I was just thinking, if you had one of those grill baskets for your barbecue, you could do a ton of these peas in one of the grill baskets. And it's such a great,
Well, toss them on your grill, whatever. It's
well,
peas.
some of them will fall through the grate, so.
Oh, well, you know, some will do, some won't. Okay. So for this part, let's taste our yogurt. Let's taste our peas first. Now, I'll show you the texture now. In my pot, let's get rid of this. In my pot, there is no more moisture or liquid. And when I lift them up, there is not a whole lot of dripping. There is dripping, but there is thick dripping. Meaning that the whole thing has been really nicely cooked and emulsified and it's thick and it's not going to be runny on your plate. Oh man, that is so good.
So it's like chunky smooth?
I don't know what it is, but it tastes like mom's, which is precious. Oh God, it hits that note. Now to finish this, if you're not allergic to it, peas and dill and zucchini and dill are brilliant together. They're brilliant. And my sausage meat is tender. So I chopped up some dill and I will put this at the very last second. Now, you can use this as a garnish to keep its color, but this dish is not about color. This dish is about deep sweetness of the peas and the sausage meat and a little bit of yogurt and a little, you know. So I would like to put my dill in there and activate it with heat. At the very last second, this right now smells completely like my mom's. Then we're just going to plate it. Really, there's not a whole lot to it. Still no questions, eh?
Nope.
Now, as if you remember, there was a trend that was called negative space, which cooks, that cook from 2014 still cooks that method, which you plate on one side of the part of the plate. I'm going to do that just because I want to put my pita chips on the side. And smear your yogurt. If your yogurt is too loose and if you don't have access to Greek yogurt, I would put it in a little colander. Not a colander, but a fine mesh sieve and drip out the excess moisture from it. And then, and yeah. And then as it's thickened, just use it that way.
These salad greens are really delicious.
They are. They're Paul's greens. They're actually quite famous. And if you want to see him naked, go on YouTube.
Paul or the greens?
Paul.
Oh, I don't want to see Paul naked.
You don't even know what he looks
I don't want to see Paul naked.
Anyway, if you would like to, go on YouTube and Google Maddie Madison in Vancouver. And they're just sitting in a hot sauna naked together.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
David?
Where's David?
Yeah, I miss him.
Tonight is David's whiskey club, so basically he got a better offer.
Oh,
With the
dude.
COVID restrictions loosening up, he's his whiskey club's able to have a in-person outdoor whiskey tasting.
Incredible. Lucky guy.
There's the mustard greens in here are so strong,
Yeah.
so mustardy. Yeah, they're really delicious.
Finally, some flavor. Anyway, I'm gonna keep some to myself because I want to eat this dish. I even feel like taking a photo for the gram.
You do?
I do.
Oh, for the gram.
Because my mom would be so ecstatic if she saw if I would cook this.
Well, send it over to her.
I'm not gonna take a picture.
If you want, do a selfie with your juices up,
Why don't you come over and taste this?
like all the cool kids do. Here, let's send your mom a picture.
Here, let's use my expensive phone. I want to see the piece. I don't want to see you. Oh, dude, you messed it up already.
Oh my God.
So much drama.
You are such a diva today
I am actually not.
with your peas. I'm excited for this. There's
Oh,
been a lot of buildup around these peas.
I know. I'm just. Isn't it just the whole thing sings together?
Honestly, when I saw you were boiling these garden peas, I was like, dude, you just shucked these super fresh peas and you're going to boil the crap out of them?
How sweet and wonderful they are.
They're so good.
Now you can taste the penis.
Oh my God.
I didn't do that. That's on my YouTube channel if you want that content.
Oh.
Isn't it delicious though?
Yeah, it is. It's really good. It's surprisingly good. Because honestly, I was like, those poor peas.
We have very the French cuisine dictates all these rules and regulations of keep color and this and that and that and this. But there's wonderfulness to mushy. There is the vegetables really sing their flavor, and they become so sweet.
But you know what makes this is the yogurt. The yogurt and the dill.
And the dill just puts a good accent on it.
Yeah. But the peas they're still so bright and fresh tasting after they cook that whole time. Yeah, honestly, I'm so surprised by this dish. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, all right.
Try the sausage.
The sausage.
It's going to be in your sausage roll tomorrow also.
Oh, so it's the same. I've had it. Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean. But with this
I didn't bring a
application-
fork. I'll get it later.
All right.
I didn't bring a fork.
All right.
Yeah, you guys should make this dish at home. Really, it's
Here,
easy.
Mom, I'm going to send this to you. Can I do it?
Yeah, do it. It's
Please?
easy, and you saw him do everything in real time. The only thing he didn't do was form the little sausage balls.
Which takes about like a minute.
But there was no binder or anything. It's just sausage meat.
It is sausage. It's sausage, smoked paprika, black pepper, salt, little bit of red wine vinegar just to lighten it up.
But there's no breadcrumbs or cheese
No,
or anything
God.
in the sausage. It's just sausage meat. This would be a really nice light supper with a glass of wine. The pita chips are really good. They're not... when they were making pita chips in the 80s, everybody put the same like za'atar on them, the big... yeah, anyhow.
Just a pinch of salt and a great cooking. If you just stop where they're really ripe, it actually sings.
I'll have this again. This is really good.
You should. Here's a recipe for you.
Oh, thanks, Chef.
Yeah. No expense spared.
Yeah, you guys should totally make this. So what are we going to do next week? Do you think Morels will be around?
Morels will be around. I'm hoping. David, get me some Morels, please.
Yeah, hopefully the Morels will be around. I'm really excited for another mushroom episode, because we've done 2, right? Mushrooms?
We've done one with him, and then we had mushroom dishes, but not a mushroom episode.
Okay. So
we had the oyster mushroom po' boy, which was great.
it was good.
Yeah.
So next week, assuming that the stars align, we'll do a morel mushroom episode. And that's another kind of expensive ingredient that's hard
It's
to
40
find.
bucks a pound.
Yeah.
But it's a novelty, and we have them locally, you know what I mean?
And you don't need a lot of it, to be honest. It's not
Yeah.
like you're chopping up 5 pounds of button mushrooms. You need a few of them, and a little goes a long way because they're super meaty and they've got really great flavors. So if you have suggestions, I know Nina was in the store today and she stuck her head in the kitchen and asked for some summer soups and maybe some cold soups. So
Do you like cold soup?
do I like cold soup? No, I don't.
I mean,
to be honest.
gazpacho is a borderline salsa.
Yeah.
It's a borderline salsa that with the ripe tomatoes that you didn't get that chance to eat.
Mm-hmm.
The melons, 2-colored melon soup you pour at the same time, don't even get me started. Nobody ever pays for that, and that belongs to the 1980s. But
I like a margarita. That's kind of like soup.
what is a margarita?
A margarita, like a strawberry margarita. It's like a fruit soup.
Oh, yeah.
Basically the
As
same.
long as there is vodka in it, put the vodka in.
Tequila in the
or tequila,
margaritas.
whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do a margarita soup episode. So if you have suggestions for other recipes, a couple of people asked us maybe to visit the local farmers market here in Langley when it opens up. So maybe one day at lunch you and I can head over, check out the farmers market, pick up a few things and build a class. Just spur of the moment on that. Go to the farmers market, pick up what's fresh and then cook
It's
it.
a farmer's market class.
Yeah,
With no direction home.
right.
Like a rolling stone. Sorry, like a complete unknown. It was Bob Dylan's 80th birthday, like a few weeks ago.
Wow, thanks for the trivia there, Tips.
Prosper.
Oh gosh, somebody needs a break. Me, I need a break. Anyhow, so thank you for joining us tonight. The recipes are all listed in the comments. They'll live on our website as well, so you can pop onto wellseasoned.ca and pick those up. And yeah, if you have questions while you're cooking in the next week or so, feel free to send your questions to askachef@wellseasoned.ca. He'll ignore them, but I will definitely get back to you. So thanks for joining us tonight, and enjoy this beautiful weather. It's supposed to be a little bit more civilized, maybe even a little rain on the weekend. So
I can't wait.
enjoy the weather, and we'll see you right back here next Thursday on Facebook Live at 5:30. Have a great week, everybody. See you then.
See you next week.